Hey everyone, welcome back to English Flow. What if I told you that you don't need a big vocabulary to speak English confidently? You don't need to memorize thousands of words. You don't need to study grammar for hours. And you definitely don't need to be afraid of making mistakes. There is one simple technique that can train your mouth, your ears, and even your brain to speak English naturally. It's called shadowing. And today I'm going to tell you about one ordinary English learner who used this simple practice to change the way he spoke, thought, and even saw himself. His name was Daniel. And honestly, Daniel was tired. Not tired because he worked too much. Not tired because he didn't sleep enough. He was tired of saying the same sentence to himself every single day. I understand English, but I can't speak it. He had been learning English for years. He knew grammar rules. He knew hundreds of words. He could understand movies if people spoke slowly. He could read articles. He could even write emails. But when someone looked directly at him and said, "So, Daniel, what do you think?" everything disappeared. His vocabulary disappeared. His grammar disappeared. Even his confidence disappeared. He would smile awkwardly and say, yes, I think, maybe. Then silence. Sometimes he laughed nervously. Ha ha, sorry, my English is not very good. And every time he said that sentence, he felt a little worse. One Monday morning, Daniel sat in a small cafe near his office. He ordered a cup of coffee, opened his laptop, and watched an English video. The speaker was talking clearly. Daniel understood almost everything. He smiled. "This is easy," he whispered. Then he closed the video and tried to repeat what he had heard. "Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about..." He stopped. "Wait." He tried again. "Good morning, everyone." His voice sounded strange to him. Too slow, too careful, too uncomfortable. He leaned back in his chair. Why can I understand this guy, but I can't speak like him? A man sitting at the next table suddenly laughed. Daniel looked over. The man was smiling. "Sorry," the man said. "I wasn't laughing at you." Daniel smiled politely. "It's okay." The man closed his laptop. "I heard what you said." Daniel looked embarrassed. Daniel looked embarrassed? "You did?" "Yeah." The man smiled. "You're trying to learn English, right?" "Yes." "What are you doing?" "Listening." The man nodded. "That's good. But you're missing one important thing." Daniel became curious. "What?" The man pointed toward Daniel's headphones. "You're listening to English like a student." Daniel frowned. "What should I do instead?" The man smiled. "Speak like a child." Daniel laughed. "A child?" "Yes." The man chuckled. "Think about how children learn. They don't memorize grammar books first. They listen, they copy, they repeat, they make mistakes, they repeat again." Daniel smiled. "That sounds easier." "It is." The man reached for his coffee. "Have you ever heard of shadowing?" Daniel shook his head. "No." The man smiled. "Then today might be your lucky day." Daniel laughed. "Really? Really?" The man introduced himself as Michael. He was an English teacher who had been teaching communication skills for more than 15 years. Michael explained shadowing in the simplest way possible. "Listen to a sentence," he said. "Then repeat it immediately." "That's it. That's the beginning." Daniel looked confused. "So I just repeat?" "Not exactly." Michael leaned forward. "You don't simply repeat the words. You copy the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, speed, pauses, emotion, and intonation." Daniel listened carefully. Michael continued. "Imagine the speaker says, 'I'm really excited about this.' You don't say. Michael suddenly spoke in a flat voice. I am really excited about this. Daniel laughed. Aha! That sounds terrible. Michael laughed too. Exactly. Then he changed his voice. I'm really excited about this. His voice sounded natural, energetic, and confident. Daniel smiled. Wow, that sounds completely different. Because English isn't only about words, Michael said. It's also about how you say them. Daniel looked at his coffee. I think I understand. Michael nodded. Good. But understanding isn't enough. Daniel raised his eyebrows. What do you mean? Tonight you practice. Daniel smiled. How long? 10 minutes. That's all? For the first day. Daniel laughed. I can do 10 minutes. Michael stood up. Good. But promise me one thing. What? Don't try to sound perfect. Daniel smiled. That's difficult. No, it's simple. Michael pointed at him. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is imitation. Daniel repeated the word. Imitation. Exactly. That evening, Daniel went home. He put his laptop on the desk. He opened an English video. Then he remembered Michael's words. Listen, copy, repeat. He pressed play. The speaker said, Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Daniel paused the video. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. He listened again. This time, he noticed something. The speaker didn't pronounce every word separately. It sounded connected. Hi everyone. Daniel tried again. Hi everyone. He paused. Then he laughed. This feels weird. But he continued. The next sentence was, Today we're going to talk about something very important. Daniel repeated it. Today we're going to talk about something very important. Again. Today we're going to talk about something very important. Again. This time, he tried to copy the speaker's rhythm. Today we're going to talk about something very important. Daniel stopped. Wait. He smiled. That actually sounded better. For the first time in a long time, Daniel felt something small. Not confidence. Not yet. But hope. He practiced for 10 minutes, then 15, then 20. Finally, he took off his headphones. He looked at himself in the mirror. Okay, he said. I can do this. The next morning, Daniel woke up earlier than usual. Instead of checking social media, he opened his English practice. He listened. He repeated. He copied. Sometimes he made mistakes. Sometimes he forgot words. Sometimes he laughed at himself. Ha ha! What was that? But he didn't stop. After 1 week, something strange happened. Daniel noticed that he was speaking faster. Not perfectly, but faster. He didn't think about every single word anymore. He started using phrases automatically. Give me a second. I'm not sure. Let me think. That sounds great. I totally agree. They were simple sentences, but they came naturally. One Friday afternoon, Daniel went to a restaurant with his friend Alex. The waiter came to their table. Good evening. What would you like? Alex ordered first. Then the waiter looked at Daniel. And for you? Normally, Daniel would panic. But this time, something inside him was different. He smiled. I'd like the chicken sandwich, please, and could I have a glass of water? The waiter nodded. Sure. Daniel smiled. Thank you. The waiter walked away. Alex looked at Daniel. Bro. Daniel looked at him. What? You just spoke English. Daniel laughed. Ha-ha, I speak English every day. Alex laughed. No, I mean, you sounded confident. Daniel smiled. I've been practicing. What kind of practice? Shadowing? Alex looked confused. Shadowing? Daniel nodded. Yeah, I listen to native speakers and repeat what they say. Alex smiled. That's interesting. Daniel took a sip of water. It's actually changing the way I speak. But Daniel knew one thing. One successful conversation didn't mean he had finished learning. He had only started, so he continued. Every morning, 10 minutes. Sometimes 15, sometimes 30. He didn't need motivation anymore. He had created a habit.